Functional people trash up our neighborhood.
Rabbi, look at last night's celebration of the Lakers' victory. Should have been all, like, isn't this fabulous? And we're not Detroit, and we're not going to burn the city down. Thank goodness we didn't, because we were prepared. But it shows you what happens whenever certain individuals have been out of control and are getting away with all this stuff, and how they just want to, I don't know, we don't need to get into that, but it just sort of shows you what we're becoming. But I wanted to say that George Putnam had a way of getting people off their butt, that thought they could do something, and sure enough they did. And there have been a lot of successful people that, rode in on his coattails and were inspired by him, and he deserves all the credit he can get.
Chuck, I got to tell you and your listeners, can you imagine I'm a school teacher, I'm in the middle of a lesson talking about how to diagram a sentence or whatever it may be, and I got my cell phone ringing, and I say, wow, who could this be? It's George Putnam. Rabbi, what do you say about this?
Yeah.
And I put the phone on speakerphone a couple of times so my students can hear it, and let me tell you, they never heard a history lesson like that before.
Hey, listen, I got a regular caller who wants to get in, and I'm going to put him on right now, and I'm sure we're going to bring up the Sierra Club and water somehow here. Al from Riverside, take it away.
How you doing, Chuck? I was going to bug you till next week, but I got a couple of questions for the Robert Schifrin there. One is the Sierra Club. Now, I don't mind if somebody disagrees with me, but I don't like being snowed. I resent them telling me to use less resources and have smaller families, but not addressing immigration. To me, that's the most outrageous aspect to this. The other thing is, and I'd like direct answers to these two questions. The second one is I have to be tough about this. We've already got Mexico meddling in our internal affairs and transgressing our borders. What happens if we increase the Muslim population? They said, look, we're going to ignore the Constitution and institute Sharia law. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I believe both of these things, the Sierra Club with immigration, also Sharia law, are valid questions. Otherwise, I wouldn't be bothering you right now. So could I have an answer to those two questions, please?
Well, your perceptions are 100% normal and correct. When they say that we need to reduce population, and you can quote me, they mean white population. The second part of your analysis is also correct. The issue with increasing the Muslim population will absolutely lead to Sharia law. Now, when my grandparents came here from Russia, Al, the last thing they wanted was the curtailment of individual freedom. They came to this country because we have a Constitution and a Bill of Rights. And let me tell you something. The Jews under the Tsar were not happy campers. They yearned, and they thirsted for a country where they would be equal. They would be able to pursue their dream without the government meddling in, without anybody meddling in. And this has been the American dream since day one: individual freedom and liberty to pursue where we want to go, and not having anybody tell us what to do. Well, of course, Sharia law is the exact opposite of that. So you're right on both accounts.
I want to thank you for giving me two direct answers to two direct questions. That's so rare in today's society. They were right on. That's what I wanted. And if you want this Sharia junk, if you want to tell women they can't wear bikinis on the beach and this stuff, keep it over there. We don't want it here. We don't want it in the United States.
You've got a website, rabbiforsenate.com. Did you get that?
rabbiforsenate.com.
Please go there and tell your friends.
Yep, and very good questions there, Al. Thank you. And we've seen what's happened overseas, over there, letting, whenever they started letting all the Muslims in, it was sort of like, well, look how nice we are. And you almost feel that way here in America. Oh, look how great we are with all this wonderful, even legal immigration out of control.
Can you imagine, Chuck, can you imagine that Harvard and Yale use student body funds to make foot baths so Muslims can wash their feet before they pray? Now, I have no problem with washing their feet. I pray 3 times a day, Chuck, as you know, because I'm a rabbi. Nobody knows that I'm praying. I'm not in anybody's face.
You're not demanding they put it at the bus stops or
the... And that's how it should be. But this is not what we have here with this new crew. It's a totally different agenda.
Well, I think we got a commander-in-chief that disagrees with you 100%. Maybe not out loud, okay?
Yep.
Hey, I want to talk about some of your pledges on your campaign, if you don't mind. And like the rabbi said, you can go to rabbiforsenate.com. And I don't see any of these so far that I disagree with. You say I pledge to work for part-time government. You've got an opponent, Current Price, that kind of disagrees with that. Jamel's Law, tell them about that real quick, would you?
Well, yeah, I pledge to, one of the first, when I'm asked, well, what will you do when you get in, the first thing I do, the first 5 minutes that I'm in office, I will pledge to legislate for Jamel's Law. Jamel's Law is real simple. If you're an illegal alien here and you're a gangbanger, we deport you. And this is something that unfortunately, if this law was enacted, Jamil Shah would be alive today.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a young man, a scholar, an athlete at LA High, who had such promise, and his parents took him to football practice for years, daily, and did so much sacrificing for him. And they envisioned that there would come a day when he would graduate, go to college, get a scholarship to go to play football. And here he is, one night, he's walking outside his home, an illegal alien who was released from jail, wrongly released, declared afterwards his goal was to shoot any black that he sees.
Any
this
black,
is a man
yes.
that came from Mexico, a known gangbanger, and this
I know I had Jamil's...
Chuck is outrageous.
Yeah. I had Jamil's mother on, I guess, about a year and a half, and a terrible, terrible story, but it's happening all over the United States, these cases. The other one, I go with this 100%, make English our state language. He just says, all right, just in the state of California, okay, let's make it our state language. Boy, that's an uphill battle. Let me tell you, Rabbi, you're not being politically correct. My goodness. Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the thing. I speak 5 languages, Chuck, as you know. I'm a language teacher. I've traveled all over the world, and I have spoken in all the languages that I speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I love language. I love communicating with people. But guess what? This is not Yugoslavia. Our forefathers
This is America,
that came here envisioned e pluribus unum. Out of many, one.
Hey, Rabbi, gonna take a break. We'll be back, and the next one, his next pledge. Hey, it's Tent City. By the way, I speak 2 languages, and that would be English and stutter, I think. All right, we'll be right back.
When was the last time someone offered you a second chance to save thousands of dollars? If you owe the IRS or state at least $15,000, America